Remember the Chickamauga, the Chickamauga. Remember the she. Every single pop-off you hear tonight, man, just remember, man, every single pop-off you hear is replicating the sounds of the war that popped off with the Chickamauga. Now, they call these the group of Cherokee that branched off from the other Cherokee that wanted to make treaties. So when you think Chickamauga, specifically they named them after a river of death. River of death in their language is this Chickamauga, but we just talking about the she. They say they broke off from the other Cherokee because they wanted to make treaties. What treaties, my naga? I'm talking 1776. Now I'm talking 1786. 10 years later, you got the what? The what? The treaties of peace and friendship. And this treaty of peace and friendship worked against Tecumseh. It worked against the prophet in Prophet Town. This is your last Israelite stand right here in America, my naga, hands down. Columbus brought a Hebrew interpreter over here to speak to you nagas, and you still don't know who you are, man. You got the land of Prester John literally on the map in 1540 of the British Museum, in the British Museum, and it says Prester John right on the land that you on right now, but you want to, you think you can genealogy your way into a kingdom? Either you are or you're not. You're going to have to come real. Everybody got to come real. Everybody got to open their eyes. Because what you observe is what you're going to collapse as the wave pattern in your reality. Right now, you're looking at reality through somebody's eyeball, man. That's why you always say that all-seeing eye. You're looking at it through their lens, which means that they've collapsed the wave pattern. I'm talking quantum physics. I'm talking double-slit experiment. You observe a particle, it changes the entire behavior of the particle. It no longer is hitting all possibilities. You've just collapsed the wave pattern by observing the particle, which means what? That you're observing through someone else's collapsing of the wave pattern, which collapsed the wave pattern on hell. You've been collapsed into hell, man. You ain't got no land, naga, you in hell, man. You ain't got no land by birthright. Your stuff's been stolen too, just like me. We waking up out of a tormented situation. We never thought this was possible. We were so great. We never thought this was possible. HaWah said we're going to come out of this and say, Halal HaWah, you are HaWah, because we never thought this was possible. And now we waking up. We becoming aware. We're becoming aware that if we observe the particle, even as a spell, right? We say we under a spell. Well, a spell is vibration, and vibration is still particles. And in quantum physics, they don't know if it's a wave or a particle. At some point, they call them wavicles, right? So these wavicles, this spell, this sound, this vibration reacts differently when you observe it. By observing the particle, it's now collapsing the wave pattern, which is now collapsing the spell. And as we observe the code, we keep the code. HaWah said to observe, to meditate on this, because you're observing it, because he's know that now you have an option to collapse the wave pattern on paradise, on that heaven you talking about. What's heaven, man? What's heaven to you? To me, man, heaven is having my land back, man. My children free, truly free. That's heaven. You're in hell if you don't have it. You're in a state of being, a state of mind. But what are you observing? HaWah gave you a code to observe, because by default, it will collapse their spell. It will break their spell when you keep the code. When you KTC, you break the spell. Yeah, man. Every single pop-off you hear tonight is that Chickamauga War, man. 1776 to 1796. The first 20 years after their declaration that you hear all this pop-off fireworks shit, the first 20 years was specifically, my naga, against the Chickamauga. It was against a specific tribe of people. For 20 straight years, these nagas fought off all this alien shit. These nagas for 20 straight years, not with all the Cherokee, because the other Cherokees signed treaties, right? We got treaties of peace and friendship. We got more and more war. These treaties were done against Dragon Canoe. They were done against Tecumseh, who was allying the tribes, the Shawnee, the Creek, the Seminole. You hear it popping off, man? That's another Naga down. Another Naga down. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's simulating. That's what it's replicating. Deep in our psyche, deep in our subconscious. It's another Naga down. The Chickamauga are rising. Now you realize who you are. You realize you're the real Indian, and India superior, right? You're the real natural. You're the spiral. But not all of our family was happy with our spiral, right? Not everybody's happy with their lot. So what's happening when you become aware? You're now observing the code, right? You KTC, no power before your power, right? All right? No putting your power's name in vain, you know what I'm saying? Saying vain things like, HaWah told me to do this, HaWah said to do that, HaWah said we should do that. You never hear us say that, man. We just say, look, man, keep the code. That's what we do know. Tribe up, that's what we do know. You know what I'm saying? But where to go, where to be, when, we don't do all that. We don't do all that. We can just KTC, man. Hit the easy button, Brett. It's that simple. No cap on my number 2 pencil. Hit the easy button, man, on that, man. It's real easy around here, man. Keep your Shabbat, man. We don't tell you where to be, where to go. We tribe up when we tribe up. You tribe up when you tribe up, man. You keep your Shabbat when you keep your Shabbat. You want to follow the moon, follow the moon. But I'm asking you, is the moon a plasma? Is it the same moon our ancestors had? If you're going to ask questions, ask questions. If not, be united. All the days belong to us. Every day is our day. We don't know our day, our times and laws. They've changed our calendars, Gregorian, Julian, all that stuff. We know we count the 7 in Gregorian calendars, but either way, my Naga, we know that every day is our day. Every day is a Baruch, you know what I'm saying? The hijack don't get no days. So we'll never know which day is which until we know. But this time, what is time? by that time you're asking, does time even exist? When you observe, is that when it pops up? So you count to 7, you keep your Shabbat, you keep it on the Julian calendar, Gregorian calendar, my Naga. Just keep your code and you rest, man. Every day is our day. The moon don't get Monday. Saturn don't get Saturday. The sun don't get Sunday. What came first? There's days without sun. There's days without moon. What came first? There's days without these planets. What came first? So don't let the hijack get no day or trick you to say, oh, well, that's Saturday, so that's Saturn day. Oh, that's Miercules, that's Wednesday, that's Miercules. So that's Mercules, Mercury, Thoth. Oh, Wednesday's Thoth day. I keep my Shabbat on Thoth day. I do mine on the moon day. Like, don't get a hijack no days. HaWah knows very clear that we've been hijacked. HaWah knows we don't know who we are, where we're at, what time it is, but we are starting to count to 7 the best we can with what we got. And we can do that unified, and we can, tear down the house when the Naga is rested from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, not spending no money Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. We'll shut this whole place down. That's economic empowerment. Every week, don't spend no money from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown and see what happens. Just rest, meditate on HaWah. Enjoy your garden. Enjoy the work you put in. Enjoy the work HaWah's put in, man. Enjoy your family. HaWah gave you a family day once a week. What's so hard about that? So we KTC, we observe, and we realize, man, every single pop off they do tonight, Every single pop-off they keep doing to us is another Naga that's being destroyed. So celebrate their festivals if you want to, but don't complain about being in captivity, man. Don't complain about captivity when you celebrate they shit. You the Chickamauga. You don't know who you are today. Treaties were put against you, against Dragon Canoe, 1776 to 1796. Then after that, up into 1812, the Battle of Tecumseh War, Prophet Town, man. Shout out to the Prophet. This is real. This is Israelite warfare. This is the last stand, man. Tecumseh tried to rally the tribes, man. He went everywhere to rally the tribes. Some rock with him, some didn't. Some made treaties with the invader. That's the only way they got this far. We the Chickamauga held it down, man, as the last frontier. You need paperwork for that? You want some genealogy for that? Or is it an energy, frequency, and vibration? Meditate high, my Nagas. They celebrate their death in war with all their firework displays. You meditate on the rising of the Chickamauga. The she is the mark, is the sign, it's the monument, it's the tile. You the she. And the she is forever. And that's the difference between us and them. Are we awake or are we aware? I say we are aware, because once you're aware, you can break the spell by observation. The simple fact of being aware of that particle, of that spell, automatically crumbles and weakens that spell, that vibration, those particles that was put on you. Now you're observing, you're aware of them. That's what breaks the spell, is the awareness of the spell. Hey, that's the drop. The awareness of the spell breaks the spell. You aware, my Naga? You ain't awake, man. You ain't at no funeral, right? You ain't awake. You aware? We the aware community. You conscious? Well, yeah, we the con. But you could be conscious and still be getting your ass kicked. But you could be aware and you could see the punches coming. You could be aware of the battle plan. You could be aware of the code. We the aware, my Naga. All praise HaWah. Keep rising. Con up to the Chickamauga.